For the very latest, let's cross live now to our reporter Simon Harding, who's in Cameroon for us. Simon, a moment of national celebration turned quite rapidly to tragedy. What more do we know about what happened there?
Well, we're getting information very slowly from the authorities here. What we do know so far is, as you mentioned, there have been 8 confirmed deaths, but that is to be taken with a pinch of salt, with many more quite seriously injured still in hospital, and about 50 other people injured as well, also in hospital. So those are numbers that unfortunately might develop. Now, as you mentioned, the stampede happened at the beginning of the match, which was opposing the host nation Cameroon against the Comoros Islands in the South Stand. We believe. Now, we were inside the stadium. We had no idea that what was happening. What we can say is that for the first time during the tournament, the stadium was almost at full capacity, 60,000 people at the Olembe ground entering. It's a strange one because it comes from a gesture of good faith from Cameroonian authorities, from the Cameroonian Football Association, and from CAF themselves, who have decreed during the tournament that when Cameroon play, schools finish early, people are allowed to watch the matches, free tickets are distributed when people don't fill the stadium up with a purchase ticket. So what we believe happened, and if we put 2 and 2 together, is that people were amassing outside the gates to enter the stadium for free, because after kickoff for the first 15 minutes you could see people still pouring into the top seats inside the stadium in the higher cheaper ticket stands, and people were probably obviously trying to get a free ticket, and that's when the tragedy happened. Now, we know that Paul Biya, the president, has taken a personal interest in this. He's asked for a full inquiry to take place. He's had members of the government visit people in hospital to ensure that people are okay, but certainly a moment of great tragedy at a moment when, of course, people would have been celebrating Cameroon's passage into the quarterfinals.
And Simon, what about the tournament itself? Will lessons be learned here about crowd management, perhaps for future games?
Well, funnily enough, we had one Cameroonian official who said that these kind of stampedes happen like at any other major event in the world. So I think that gives you a kind of an idea of the way authorities are approaching the situation. Certainly, what we can expect is that people will continue to go to football games, people will continue to come en masse to try and see Cameroon play, and unless security is increased quite drastically around the stadium, because it is far too easy to access points, and the police officers or the security officers, the few that they are, when you have 15, 20 people, never mind 400, like the case was yesterday, they're not going to be doing anything to stop people. Often crowds that have been drinking, often crowds that are quite volatile, because they want to watch their football games. Now, here in Cameroon, football is one of the only things in life that unites the population, so you can imagine the feeling there. Another aspect is, of course, CAF. It's another blip, another dark spot on CAF and their organisation and their ability to cope with organising these big events. Now, we can anticipate that there will be some sort of blame throwing between the Cameroonian authorities and FA and between the organisation of CAF itself.
Simon Harding reporting there from Cameroon on that stadium tragedy.